Does it encourage violence? Does it encourage a healthy love for a country? Does it encourage arrogance, unhealthy patriotism? What is that? Let's talk about it. Oh my word! So freaking good! Hey everybody, all you beautiful people, it's Rosalie. Welcome to the Ultimate World Music Reaction Channel. I'm happy that you're here. Make sure to subscribe. We're growing, and I'm excited that you're part of this journey. Got all kinds of new content for you this week, so check it out. Tom MacDonald's latest song. Now, I was debating if I'm going to react to it because there's criticism about it. As we know, he's an independent artist, and he's trying to get up there on the number one instead of Jason Aldean, who has been writing the number one with his latest interesting, controversial song that everybody's been talking about. We're not going to go into detail about what that song's about or my thoughts on it. As you know, we're all about music and psychology, and I usually like to look at things in a more balanced, holistic way. I want to check out Tom MacDonald. I have no idea what this song's about. When I asked you guys what your thoughts are on if I should react to the song by Jason Aldean, some of you commented that similarly to Tom MacDonald's song, it encourages certain behaviors. And I decided I'm going to go check this out anyways. For one, because it's new right now. It's trending. Another reason I want to check it out is because I love the fact that this channel is growing, even though we're not doing crazy polarizing things. And I want to look at things psychologically and holistically. I already have a feeling it's going to be super patriotic. What is patriotism? Well, in short, we know that it basically means someone who loves your country, an attachment to your country. It can even be a combination of different feelings, like the language of a homeland, your ethnic or cultural or political aspects. And I think that definition, just as a heads up, is important to take into consideration. When we talk about the American flag, right? We're talking about America, a country. We're talking about patriotism. Keep in mind, patriotism can look and mean different things to different people. For some, it's really just a love for their country. For others, it could be a political affiliation. For others, they critique it for the same reasons. For others, it could be a love for their language or personal experiences. And this is why I love diving into the psychology of music, because music is art and it will impact all of us differently. We could all hear the same song and have a different emotional response based on our religion, our beliefs, our opinions. I'll do my best to try to look at this objectively, and I'll tell you what I think. Here we go.
My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags. American flags. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. I ain't never gonna pretend that I give a damn. Anybody who's offended, come get it, we throwing hands. Anybody not trying to make America great again, you a punk, you a clown, better know where I stand. I'm the white boy with the middle fingers in the air, dog. We don't give a what. 100 white boys gonna hold me down anywhere, dog. We think that you suck. My patriots the craziest, they ain't afraid of breaking fists on faces. If you really wanna taste of this, no safety tip, just aim the stick and spray the clip. I pray you miss, cause if you don't, they gon' go wacko. Automatic gun smoke like tobacco. Never hit a lady, but it's pretty hard to tell if you're a girl or a they, them, there's these, that, those. I ain't never gonna take a knee for the anthem, smack them. I don't give a damn, can't stand them. Gang full of randoms, fan with a handgun, run up in your mansion, leave it all abandoned. I was raised to be brave, to the grave, United States. We love the country that they've been corrupting, go woke and go broker if you ain't awake. My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags.
Okay. Let me calmly share my thoughts. The beat goes hard, and I think this is why I could see a lot of people enjoying this track. There's something about that trap vibe, the hip hop, that intense bass, that emotionally, y'all know we're all about psychology up in here, that creates this hype, right? Like, oh, let's go. And there's something exciting about that. Now, try to keep an open mind. If you are anti-Tom MacDonald or anti-American flag patriotism, again, for whatever reason, it could be political, it could be that you've been hurt by people who claim to be patriots or are more on the right side when it comes to politics. I want us to try to practice self-awareness in this very moment. regardless if you're yay or nay, try to ask yourself why. Where is this coming from? Where are some of the influences that are affecting how I view this coming from? And I want us to keep the same compassion when we talk to one another about it, because you could be talking to someone who's like, this is disgusting, I hate this is so patriotic. Before we get defensive, let's ask why. What happened? What happened to you? Michelle Obama, in an interview with Drew Barrymore recently, said something so profound, and I'll say it in my own words. She was basically pointing out the fact that if people call her something, say a racial slur, she doesn't let it affect her personally, and she instead asks, what happened to you? Because she has come to this place where she realizes everybody has a story and is going through something. And there was something so wise and beautiful and eloquent and ladylike, royal about her behavior and her mindset to have that type of humility. That doesn't mean that she never gets hurt. I'm sure she has gotten her feelings hurt many, many times. But I think over the years, she has been refined and has come to a place of wisdom where she understands it says more about the person than it does about ourselves. But when we still operate from a place of hurt, we say, oh, it has everything to do with you, not me, right? There may be truth to that statement. It does have more to do with the person who spoke those words. But we still say it from a place of anger and bitterness versus trying to, and this is hard and humbling, to say, what would hurt? Who hurt you? What's going on here? That doesn't mean there's excuses for false behavior, but it opens and expands a horizon that it says more about that person. There's something going on here. Now, my first thought, in addition to that beat going really, really hard, is that Tom MacDonald's rap skills are pretty dope. I've seen a few of his stuff. Some of it has been singing. Some of it has been rapping. But I don't know if I've seen him rap to this level yet, that he's just really going at it. His bars and his cadences, I'm enjoying that a lot. I also enjoy that I can hear what he is saying. We'll talk about the lyrics in a second. Of course, it has a very badass vibe about it, right? The tanks, the flag, the camo, okay? What I wish from the get-go, and this is just me, is in order to really push that idea of we're America, we got to take this country back. I wouldn't mind if people like Hobson and J. Cole, etc. were in it. I wouldn't mind if there were more diverse representations of rappers and artists. I think it would help to showcase this is not a right versus left. This is not a white versus black. We all coming together because we love this country. Is America perfect? Absolutely not. I'm Cuban and German, born and raised in Germany. I'm a U.S. citizen. I live in the States. America is not perfect, okay? But I would be very careful who you listen to. I know people who, even listening from Germany, will form their opinions based on what the news is telling them. Because they make money off of division. They make money off of polarizing us, making us all feel like we're against one another. And it's hard to say, okay, that's how I feel. Why did this person consider this art? That's just a thought. But let's keep listening. The beat goes hard, though.
Break your ankles, I'm not hearing what you saying. Hit the pavement, now you seeing angels. It get dangerous, go against the Patriots. Got all the bangers, take a look inside my closet. You gon' see way more than hangers, hammers like I do construction. Ammo, I'ma shoot at something. Why you think we own these guns? So we could just go do some hunting. You must not pay close attention. Government, they want division. Only treason if you lose. I guarantee we come out winning. Let my flag fly high like eagles. I would die for all my people. You can't change me with procedures. I'm about freedom, you about evil. Leave you hanging from the ceiling like chandeliers in cathedrals. Never have the safety on, and when we run out, we just reload. My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags. You see stripes, you see flags on the cars and the trucks and the bikes. Every time we pull up, we go hard, we outside, we got flags on our arms that are tatted there for life. Every time we pull up, we don't care if you mad. We cherish this land, the haters can't get buried in rags. They set fire to old glory, turning fabric to ash. But every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags.
Yo, Nova Rockefeller is a Rockefeller, is a rock when it comes to videos. The the fighters, fighter flyers, the jets flying around all around in the air is pretty dope. First in synchronicity, but then all over the place is really really dope. American footage. I can't speak. Very, very dope and fierce. There are a few parts in the lyrics, I'm about to pull them up, where I thought to myself, ooh, this could be taken the wrong way. And this is why I stick to what I said a moment ago. Because I didn't know if something was gonna change, but it stuck with those two, Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun. It would have been dope, like I said, to have all kinds of people in there. When it comes to rappers, Hobson, that boy is skilled. Bring in Dax, bring in J. Cole. I have yet to check out. I'm excited about that. Just bring in, not even that, man. Bring in some, bring in, Pakistani and Indian rappers who are in the States now, who have come and who have established themselves and their families. Bring in some of the Latino rappers. You know what I'm saying? Bring some of the reggaeton rappers. Bring in who all represents America, because it's everybody. It's so many different cultures. America is a melting pot. That would have been cool. I would have liked that, because I feel like it would have been harder for anyone to argue with it then. It would have been really hard to say, ooh, this is racist, or ooh, this is inciting violence against one group or the other. We human beings tend to extremes, okay? And we are trying in our own personal lives and on a macro level as a society to find that lever. I mean, imagine like a mixing table when it comes to music, or the volume button when you're adjusting your music to listen to something. We're always trying to adjust, and we tend to extremes. Now, social media has not helped with this, because what does go viral, the things that make most money, are the things that get most attention. Well, psychologically speaking, it is those things that have the biggest shock value, either the things that make us cry the most, feel angry the most, the things that have the biggest emotional response. Two things, because we live in a social media world where we're disconnected, right? The things that we see behind the screen are not real. This goes for the sexual industry, for pornography. This goes for the music industry. This goes for the media. This goes for Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. The things we see on a screen, we have this disconnect, this cognitive dissonance, where even though in theory we know it's not really real, in our minds we still keep building those neural pathways. Our mind keeps thinking, but this is true beauty, but this is true success, but this is true meaning. And we all have these existential fears, subconscious and consciously, where we want to belong and be of value. So our mind, even though we know in theory it's not true in reality, our mind will keep feeding us, or the media, these industries I just mentioned, will keep feeding us this idea, but that's how it's supposed to be. We also have a disconnect in the sense of desensitization that goes for pornography, that goes for the music industry and for many topics, where we will see things and we will belittle it and go, that's not real anyways. That's just on the screen. It's not really immoral. It's not really bad for me. It's not really cheating. It's not really violent, right? Because it's just on the screen. And we forget that these are real people behind said camera. We have that dissonance, we have that disconnect, and it allows us to excuse behaviors. It allows us to belittle things. It desensitizes us. It makes it harder to empathize. And because things that go viral and that have the biggest emotional effect are what make the money, because people just swipe, swipe, swipe. You got to catch them within the first second to get someone's attention, to get them go, oh, I want to watch this till the end. I want to hear what she or he has to say. People are reactive. We long so desperately for community, and we fail to realize that community comes through relationship. Relationship comes through refining. People who are married or have been in a relationship, who have siblings, who have friendships that are actually of substance, they know this. Your deepest, most meaningful friends are people you've been with for a long time. That's quality. People who have been through hard times, where you've had an argument and you've made it through. We're so reactive and so superficial. We'll be so quick to spew our opinions on people. We weren't designed for that many opinions. We live in a world where if you have one extreme of people being super liberal, super everything goes, you'll naturally have other people that stand up and do the other extreme. We need both. We need people on the left and the right and all around the middle to help balance one another out. Okay? We need the introverts and the extroverts. We need the calm and the wild. We need those who are all about inclusivity and compassion. And we need those who say enough's enough. Now, are there unhealthy aspects on those extremes? Absolutely. Those who say my way or the highway and those who say everything goes, those are two extremes. Ideally, we meet in the middle. But naturally, because we're humans, and again, because that's what makes you money, we have people that will push to the left or the right heavily. And I see that here, that extreme, just total rebellion, total hurrah, America, total, I got my guns, with me. I don't just have them to hunt. It's this desire to swing the pendulum back the other way. It's a very patriotic song, all about the American flag, red, white, and blue, pretty clear. I'm never going to pretend that I give a dang. Everybody who is offended can get it. We throw in hands. I leave you hanging from the ceiling like chandeliers in cathedrals. And now this part I was like, ooh, okay. This to me, I could see that triggering people because it does sound like hanging. It does sound like killing people. And that's not the answer. Okay. The answer to balance or counter another extreme. And I do see validity in that frustration, by the way. I do see validity in the frustration of feeling like you have to watch your every move, okay? Where you have to worry about what people are saying, forced to certain things. That is concerning, especially if we live in a country where the concept, one of the privileges is freedom of speech, freedom of press, right? Freedom of religion. If you now say, I don't believe in this, and you're demonized, or called some type of phobe or some type of ism because you don't agree with that, that's concerning. That should go for any topic, right? That goes for the movements when it comes to pronouns, when it comes to identity. It is not okay to dismiss people who feel that way and say whatever, you're just wrong or crazy. But what's not okay is that we can't have a conversation. Those are two extremes. It's not even just tolerance anymore. It's not even just you do you, I do me, right? You're going to do what I say. You're going to refer to me like I say. And if you don't, you're some ism or some phobe. That's the other extreme. That's the same concept to me, like forcing a religion on people, because it is at the end of the day a belief. It's based on feelings. It's based on feelings and opinions, and those come and go. Everybody's got one. Your mama's got two. These elements in the lyrics where it talks about that and where it criticizes this time we live in. I understand that frustration to a degree. That is not healthy. But the other extreme is also now to say, I ain't never going to take a knee for the anthem, smack him. That's not the answer either. This thing with patriotism, America is a great country with great opportunity. If you find it offensive that someone kneels for the flag, I understand that. And you should not have to ever kneel. Nobody should ever force you to. But to smack those who don't want to smack those who choose to take a knee, the flag is not God. And that we can't even agree on God. Even when it comes to God, people have different ways of approaching. Our attempt at reaching something that's greater than ourselves, our desire to have a relationship with the higher power and a creative intelligence out there is as old as time. Therefore, many religions, therefore various denominations within a religion. But if we're going to glorify a flag to the point where it's a disgrace, where it deserves a smack, if you don't stand in front of this flag, that's where I see some of that, what is the word, discrepancy, where I say, wait a minute, the flag's not God. This is a country and a man-made piece of cloth. Should it be given some respect, especially because people have given their lives to protect this country? If we're so busy fighting one another, we have no chance against other countries who try to capitalize on that. That's one of those things where I would say I don't agree. I don't agree. This idea of, smack somebody if they want to take a knee. The flag ain't God. And even when it comes to God, there's different ways of approaching him. Even when it comes to God, we're going to slap people that don't kneel before God. People of this country were under attack. They abandon us. They cancel us. Here, psychologically, I see that fear. I see Americans rising up and saying, and I want to talk about these different topics because I really want you to see I'm trying to be holistic here. It's not one or the other to me. There's a people who are weary of being canceled. There's an existential fear behind it. Literally, right? I mean, Shakespeare said it so well, to be or not to be. This is our human core struggle, right? Who am I? What am I? And we want to be accepted as that. So to tell a person, you're crazy, you're wrong, or it's just your feeling, right? It's all in your head. Naturally, because their freedom to express themselves, their freedom to be somebody, their freedom to be told who to love or what to do or what to say is being restricted, they go into defense mode or offensive mode, right? Who the heck are you? And the other side goes for the other extreme as well. People who say, I'm not going to have you tell me what I can and can't say. They're afraid of losing their freedom. They're afraid of being silenced. They're afraid that people are forcing them what type of pronouns to use, what type of language to use. We're all on the offensive or defensive because we're afraid, because we long for freedom. We want to be happy. We want to be loved. We want to matter. thing with that I think is that we will see those extremes and we will feel like we're all doomed if we look at the media. When you go through life in your day to day, I think most people are just trying to make it. And yes, some may have issues with one another. Some may genuinely be racist. Some may genuinely be homophobe. Some may genuinely be unkind and ugly. But most people are just trying to take care of themselves and theirs. Got that AKAR Draco, leave you stanking, break your ankles. I'm not hearing what you're saying. Hit the pavement, now you seeing angels. And this is again that part where I'm like, okay, this does sound really violent. This does sound about like some type of, yeah, beating somebody up. You see in angels, right? Like you see stars. This idea of you're not going to take my freedom, right? I dare you to try to come take my, weapons because I want that right to defend myself. And I see validity in that because that's one of the things in America that makes this country stand out is the right to bear arms. It's a tricky topic where you do have, again, polarized opinions. Those who are tired of the gun violence and seeing kids lose their lives because people are going around shooting people. Then you have those who say it's not the gun, it's the person behind the gun. Then you have those who say, can we please address mental health? I don't think it's wise to give a government all the power. And I think, again, for the fourth, fifth time, we're hashtag world history, assuming that we can trust certain entities is not wise. At the same time, it really matters where our heart is at. Am I enjoying that privilege, the right to bear arms, as to not just give the government all the power? As to not just depend on an entity like the police to protect me? Or is it because we're now trying to go around going, hoorah, mess with me? So I definitely see both here. This desire to say, I'm not going to be restricted. But I also see the other side of people going, say what? What's the point here? We're going to try to make each other see angels? Are we now just going to shoot one another and come out guns blazing? Human beings are like animals. I feel like human beings are like various animals. We have the mammals among us. We have the predators. We have the prey. We have those who love to run. We have those who love to fly. And I'm speaking in very general terms. But when we look at animal behavior, we can really see a lot of that amongst human beings, in my opinion. And we need one another. We need those who are willing to fight. We need those who are willing to come out guns blazing and saying, you will not touch mine, right? If we had a village, we went back to the old days where it was a tribe of 100 people, we would need those who are willing to fight. We would need the warriors among us to say, I don't think so. You will not mess with my territory. You will not mess with my tribe, our women or our children. I dare you to come at me, bro. And nobody's going to come take these spears and these knives and rocks or our fire. Trying to picture this caveman idea, if you can bear with me. But we also need the gentle ones. We also need those who say, hey, we have old and sick here. We can't just bolt out and forward and leave them behind. Hey, we have someone here who's hurting. We have someone here who is feeling stuff. How do we find that balance? How do we find the balance to understand we all need one another? But I don't think the solution is taking a country back or taking a nation back by now completely dismissing anyone who disagrees. Because that is the same mindset that bothers those who love this concept. At the end of the day, I think that we have to have those heavy conversations. Try to find a middle. The beat was hard. The rap was fire. I mean, impressive rap skills and super dope. But I feel like it would have been even more patriotic to just have different people represented just to show like, hey, we are America. We live here now. We love this country. It ain't perfect, but we're going to stick together. Shoot, they should have brought in some of those African Americans that ride horses down our street sometimes, because I'm telling you, I respect those men. I don't even know them, but I think it's awesome. You know what I mean? Like just bringing people from all walks of life, because that's America. And just like with anything, it can easily become a matter of idolatry. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a patriot. I don't think there's anything wrong with loving your country. Or standing up against those who belittle it, right? There's those who want to be negative about it all the time. Everything's negative. They want to burn the flag, or they want to silence and cancel when you don't agree. And that's not okay. That's one extreme. But the other extreme is also to say, if you burn the flag, if you come against me in America, this great land, I'm going to hang you up and I'm going to make you see angels. It's the same thing in purple. It's the same thing the other way around. It's one thing to say you're a racist or you're a homophobe if you don't refer to me with the pronouns I tell you to, if you don't agree with what I feel about myself, if you don't change your vocabulary, your day-to-day language, and the way you speak because of how I feel. And if you don't agree or you say something provocative or you speak your mind, you should be silenced and canceled. That's one extreme. But the other extreme is to say, if you go against this country or the things I love, I'm a throw hands. It's the same idea, and it's not going to get us anywhere because it keeps just perpetuating these existential fears within us for our desire for freedom and the pursuit of happiness, because that's ultimately all we want. Maybe somehow we can find a way to meet in the middle. Does that sound idealistic? Yup. Is that going to make the big bucks? Nope. But I hope that, and I think this channel is proof of that there's enough people who are tired of the polarization, tired of the extremes, hungry for some type of community and substance. So let's choose life, man. What we say, the way we speak, the way we listen to one another. Doesn't mean there's no such thing as wrong or right. Doesn't mean we don't need the freedom fighters and the hurrah people. But I do think we got to learn to just be kind a little bit more. What y'all think? Let me know. I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!